Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, we got a special one here today, and it's someone who's never been featured on the show before. And it's weird, because I feel like he has a counterpart that we have featured quite a bit on the show, which is Jacob Collier. And I say that because Charlie Puth, whoa, there he is, yeah, and it's a Rick Beato video, of course. Rick Beato will be holding our hand through this one, as usual. Charlie Puth is also a perfect pitch prodigy boy genius. At least that's my understanding of him. I guess we're gonna learn about him in this hour and 5-minute interview. I wonder how far we're gonna get into this one, right? But my understanding of him is that he's like Jacob Collier, except he's more of a super pop producer, and his perfect pitch doesn't extend quite as far as microtonal perfect pitch, or at least, like, he probably doesn't use that in his music, I would imagine. And Jacob Collier, I think, if he asked him to, like, write out all the chords he knows, he probably knows, like, more chords than Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth is, like, the pop version of Jacob Collier. So before I say too much, because again, I don't know anything about the subject, I just know that he's a popular guy, or at least maybe he was. I think he still is too. This video should get some clicks using his name, probably. By the way, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? It means that every morning I wake up to the Bach bell, and that's what gets me out of bed. But you know what? It's not the Bach bell calling this time. It's the Charlie Puth. I was trying to think of some pun that rhymes with Charlie Puth, some sort of noisemaker, but I can't think of it right now. Hey, maybe we should read this description, actually. This might be a little insightful. This is the first time I've ever done this. In this interview, I finally sit down with pop virtuoso Charlie Puth. What does that mean? I know what a virtuoso is. It's someone who displays exceptional skill on their instrument. Hold on, what language is virtuoso? I bet it's Italian. Italian. Boom. Thank you, AI. I rely on you for everything. Can I get another source? There we go, Wikipedia. It's an Italian word, which anything that's Italian, that's classical, that's my thing that you're drawing from right there. So the idea of a pop virtuoso is kind of interesting. Charlie Puth. We talk about his perfect pitch. Oh, yeah, if you ever meet someone with perfect pitch, that's all you're going to be talking about, believe me. And he demonstrates his uncanny ability to recall any song he's heard. Well, what are the songs he's hearing, though? It's going to be a bunch of pop songs, because he's a pop producer. How about you let him listen to the Well-Tempered Clavier, and then, okay, why don't you recall the F-sharp minor fugue for me, Charlie Puth? Recall that one verbatim. Oh, yeah, no, you can't, right? Because the music you like is easy. Wow, your life is dealing with 4 chords, and you somehow remembered 4 chords? That's incredible, dude. What a virtuoso. Alright, I'm already having judgments. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
I don't know how to read solfege, but I can read all the notes.
Read solfege? I thought you sing solfege. Oh, you can't read syllables? Okay, I'm sorry. Alright.
Solfege would be something that'd be difficult for having perfect pitch to do.
Why? Why would that be difficult? So, solfege, if you guys don't know, it's the do-re-mi thing in that one song. Do, a deer, a female deer. It's all the different syllables that you go through, and they represent the scale. I haven't actually practiced guitar today, but I'll get my guitar. You know, it's a big day when old Sore Hands busts out the guitar in the video. I try to avoid doing this at all costs. I don't have an exact definition for these things, but solfege, if you didn't know, we're just corresponding syllables to the notes of the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And no matter what scale you're playing, the solfege is always going to stay the same. So if you were to go to the next key, like up a half step, it would still be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, I guess the confusing thing for someone with perfect pitch is that if you're in C major, C would be do, and then if you go to like D flat major, D would be do. So you now have this one word to describe 2 different notes, or in the case of all major keys, 12 different notes. And what I'm describing is a movable do solfege. There's another kind of solfege called fixed do. If you were to start in C major, it would still be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But everything is related off of C major. So if you go to G major, G is sol in C major, and it's going to be sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fi. Like raised fa, fi, sol. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Somebody like correct me if that's wrong. So I guess that system would work better with someone with perfect pitch, and you will always hear that system be advocated for if you ever take any music theory classes by the one person in class who has perfect pitch, and everyone's just like, heck no, we're not doing that crap. Like, imagine playing a D flat major, so you're starting on like Ra. No, we're not doing that. Movable do is great because in our tuning system, all keys are the same, and it takes advantage of that really well. I forget what my point was with all that, but now we talked about solfege a little bit. I don't know.
When did you figure out that you had this?
I was 12 years old because I grew up playing in church, and these are the days of tape cassettes.
Boomer, old, old. How old is Charlie Puth? These are the real questions here today on Sore Hands. 34 years old. Yeah, dude. I mean, you're not that old. He's got 6 years on me. Before you guys criticize me for having no accolades or achievements whatsoever, and I'm talking about this highly acclaimed pop musician guy, just remember that I have 6 years to figure out my pop career, so don't worry. Just be patient. All this trash talk is just preemptive. I'll have my day one day.
Whenever the organist wouldn't, show up, they would play the cassette. Which all that music has seemed to disappear from the church. I don't really understand why. It's really catchy and great.
Thank you, Charlie, for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm not a religious man, but I have attended church services that play Bach, and they're pretty sick. It's kind of like a concert, except they make you stand up and sit down a whole bunch throughout the whole thing, which is a little weird. I don't like that so much. But yeah, I agree. Where did that music go? Like, you can still find it. You just gotta find the right service. God, there's nothing worse than a contemporary Christian service. Oh. In contemporary Christian... I'm sorry, I'm just, like, rambling now. Contemporary Christian music is known for sucking, but it parallels so closely to the musicality of emo music and like that kind of music. So basically, contemporary Christian music is like all of the non-skill of emo musicians, but with none of the heart and the angst. It's so sanitized and just like bad. That's my thing with contemporary Christian music. They literally have this subject that could be the most intense thing possible, like God, and they're so limp with their lyrics. It's all about just like praise and being happy and stuff. Like, you could talk about like hellfire and stuff and like fear. Like, you have all these awesome subjects to talk about. Like, I don't know, I just never hear it. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna let him talk.
But when you hear it over and over and over again, you tend to just remember it, like reading a paragraph, like passage of a book. Enough times you're gonna memorize it.
Yeah, I don't do that, sorry.
So I always looked at music in the same way. If you hear something a number of times, you're gonna memorize it. So I thought that everybody could do it.
Everybody can do it. You just have to practice. You can memorize music too, you watching at home. Be sure to practice your music and you too will memorize it.
When, like, I guess the tape machine didn't work one day or the organist didn't show up, and I decided to show off and run up there and play the entire Mass from memory. And that was when I was 12 years old, but under the assumption that it was just like a normal human thing to do.
Okay, you know what? So I criticized him for being able to memorize anything, that he only deals with pop music. Can he memorize Bach just from listening to it? Maybe so. I'd love to hear about that. Is he like one of the greatest minds of our life?
Piano already? Had you taken lessons or anything?
Yeah,
or no?
Yeah. I had just I had been playing jazz for 2 years.
Okay.
But, primarily classical piano. All the.
Dude, if you're gonna play it, play it. It feels a little stiff. Come on, man. What's your real interpretation of that?
Which I'm probably a little rusty at now, but.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Loving hearing Moments Notice. Moments Notice.
Yeah.
Ooh, like those little. I know those are 2/5 chords. Like it just felt like a swirl to me, and I always loved learning songs that had that. Read the fake books, but I would much prefer listening to the CD and just memorizing it.
Would you do it and play the piano along with it, or you could just hear it and remember what it was and just play it?
I would remember it better if I didn't have the piano in front of me. If I just listened to it 5-10 times in a row and then be like, okay, I got it. For whatever reason, if I had the piano and I was trying to remember it, it wouldn't come as easy. But I would just play it over and over again, and then.
That kind of reminds me of the old days of taking YouTube guitar lessons, and it would be like a 20-minute lesson on a song I'm trying to learn or something. And I think I would learn from those videos better if I put the guitar away and just watched the video. Because what would always end up happening is I would just noodle throughout the whole video and I wouldn't pay attention at all. And yeah, that's a really good point from Charlie. Active listening, which is undistracted, active listening. And this is true for me, like especially when I'm practicing like classical music, of course. Whenever I'm playing anything, even if it's fully memorized, I'm always reactive and focusing on the reaction of what's happening in some way. But when I can conceptualize the music, there is no reaction. It's either there or it's not. There's no like trying to find it. There's no using your ears to like try to muscle memory the melody. It's just you and what you have in your head. So I imagine for someone like him, if you're trying to learn like a jazz tune, and especially if you have a foundation in harmony and you know all your chords and whatnot, probably being away from your instrument is beneficial because you're not reactive now. You're not like hearing and then trying to play. Like you're just hearing the chord progression or you're just hearing the melody or whatever. And that's another thing to try too with your classical music. Can you actually visualize every note of a piece that you're playing. And you're gonna find if you try this, the answer is like yes up to the first 6 bars. Then after that, it takes a real amount of energy to see and audiate everything in the music that you're playing. And if you've never done it before, it almost feels like your mind is like wading through mud where you just have to think of it so slowly. But the more you do, the more clear it'll become, and it'll become this like highway, and your music will just become so much more clear if you do that. Yeah, dude, I'm liking Charlie Puth now. I was gonna go in like trying to hate, but man, dude, these are good points to bring up.
You talk about you were showing how things are pitched up and things like that, right? You just said it like Instagram thing like that. When you heard things that were out of pitch, like that, sped up or slowed down, did it bother you?
It didn't bother me. I was just fascinated by it. I remember there was this radio station, 101.1 WCBS FM. They would make music faster,
speed it up
so they could play more music in between the ads.
That's so dystopian. They just compromise the music entirely because of their ad schedule. That's kind of what you guys do when you speed up my videos and then you get more ads because of that. This video is meant to be watched at this speed. Ooh, I don't want captions.
I remember listening to the "You and Me Used to Be Together" by Don't Speak, I Know This What You're Thinking. Wonderful song. Don't speak. I heard Don't Speak, Don't Speak.
Oh.
Yeah, I love this. They would really only speed it up that much? That really made that much of a difference? That's so bizarre. I've never heard of that before.
Like a little sharp.
Yeah.
And I would ask my mom, like, why does it sound different on the radio than it does on the CD?
And she was like, stop. Like, what are you talking about? Eat your McDonald's. Stop. I feel like there should be some, like, copyright law against that where you can't, like, alter this recording when you're, like, broadcasting it, right? Like, there should be some protection against that. That's such an important aspect of a song, like, just the original intended pitch of it, right? That's so weird.
Who said, Charlie, you have perfect pitch? Was there a teacher that said this?
Yes. There was a teacher named Min Kim, who was my classical piano teacher at Manhattan School of Music, who told me I had this.
I bet she was excited about that, too.
I remember asking her, like, if I don't practice listening, am I going to forget it? And she says, no, it stays with you for a lifetime.
Is that true? Oh, well, let's actually hear what he says.
You know, controversial take. Who knows? But it hasn't left me since.
Yeah, but you're also a career musician thinking about music every single day. I'm pretty sure if you don't train it, you will lose it. And in fact, even just what I know about perfect pitch, even as you age while training it, it still drifts, like as you get older, which can be a very disconcerting thing for someone with perfect pitch. But yeah, I don't believe that. If you don't train it, you'll lose it.
This is perfectly in tune. This is a crispy Yamaha perfectly in tune piano.
And I guess that's what I mean by his perfect pitch isn't microtonal like our boy Jacob Collier. Because Jacob Collier would never say that piano is like perfectly in tune. Because with our current tuning system, there's going to be an innate crunchiness, an equal amount of crunchiness in any given quality of chord you might play in any key anywhere. So if your perfect pitch is like really bang on accurate, you should play that major chord on the crispy Yamaha. You should say something more like, these half steps are perfectly spaced. 12 half steps per octave, just as intended. When I hear this major chord, the third is slightly sharp, but that's okay. And the fifth is probably doing something. That's like the most important one you have to deal with major chords, is that your major third is going to be like too high. It becomes a really pressing issue with classical guitar, especially because like we only have like 5 or so keys that we tune in, and it's kind of important that we make the major third sound good in any given key. So you have to tune slightly differently depending on what you're playing. Just like very slightly. I don't know. Whatever.
Tune this today.
I got tuned today, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. Like, it's perfect. That's fine. But if a guitarist comes in and it's really off and they didn't tune it, I'm going to obviously have an issue with that.
There's no kind of natural chorusing.
Right.
That you think it makes things sound smaller.
Absolutely, it does. We just recorded a orchestra on this album, Whatever's Clever. We had 19 orchestral members and not 20 because we were so nervous in like the small space. It was like about this, and that's really geeky. 20 would have been fine, but 19 just felt a little, I don't know if it's like placebo, it's just like it felt wider.
This is what people tell me when I don't get invited to stuff. They tell me, they're like, Cameron, I think just having this one extra guy would just totally just ruin the vibes there. So you should stay home from whatever event that your 19 friends are throwing on. Don't show up. Don't come to it, man. Imagine how that one second violinist felt being asked to just like, hey, I know that we're a 20-piece orchestra. We always play everything together, but you know what? Charlie Puth said, you can't come. Stay home.
When you tune the hell out of your vocals, I think it also takes the emotion. I've definitely overtuned my vocals in the past on past works.
I guess that's kind of an interesting idea. Like Rick is talking about chorus being like it's an effect. Like we know that as an effect as guitarists. And what chorus is essentially emulating is like having 2 or 3 guitarists and they're just slightly off from each other, thus creating this like hair, I guess. That's my understanding of chorus, at least. So I guess you have to decide if that effect, if you wanted that acoustically, is better than having just 3 perfectly in tune guitarists. All right.
Is tuned and it sounds will you say something like let's not tune that so much, can we untune these things or whatever, or will you sing things specific on purpose slightly flat or something to make a double sound fatter? Or do you not really think about it?
Dude, I ain't freaking Jacob Collier. What are you talking about? I'll sing as perfectly as I can, and then it'll end up being a little flat, and then it's like, oh, this actually this kind of works. It's nice.
I'm not really thinking about it like that. If it's too tuned, in all honesty, if I'm doing the vocal production, I just delete it and re-sing it, because I probably live with it at that point for a couple of weeks, and I'm more relaxed in my delivery of it. I'll do that sometimes. I'll spend so much time working on a lead vocal and you know, just like punching in, and it's just like it starts to lose its naturalness. It's like you always strive for things to sound like take 4 or take 5, just completely. So after that, I'm just like, let's just do a take now that I'm acquainted with the song, and then it feels that ends up being the take.
Do you think that the average listener that listens to pop music, that there's only a certain level of complexity that they can accept for pop music?
This is kind of a loaded question from Rick, and you know what? We're going to come back to this one, because wow, we made it through almost 8 minutes of this hour and 5-minute interview. Yeah, we're going to be milking this one for a little bit, which is cool, because I'm enjoying this. My impressions of Charlie Puth so far, I was like totally ready to not respect him in any way whatsoever, just as like a pop producer, like perfect pitch guy, like totally using perfect pitch to just like market himself and just like whatever. But he seems pretty legit so far. He seems really cool. And I'm saying that as someone who is like so not legit, so what does my opinion mean whatsoever? But if you actually look down below this video, you'll see that it's my YouTube channel. So like, you're the one watching me. If you don't trust my opinion, go watch Rick Beato then, you fool. But no, I like him. He almost feels like Jacob Collier, a little less whimsical though, you know, which I kind of appreciate. So I'm enjoying this. I feel like we might get some pretty interesting things here. But that being said, we got to wrap this one up here. So of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Hey, I have a recital class. This video should be coming out on Tuesday, July 14th. The recital class will be this upcoming Sunday. I don't want to figure out the date. It's at noon. Be there, be square. And what is a recital class? It's a place that you go to play your classical rep that you've been working on, and you try to just actually play it for a Zoom room full of people. And you'd be surprised how hard that is, actually. Of course, there's merch on Rutan's Delight if you'd like some merch. And yeah, alright, well, I'll see you in the next one.